What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nasha. Welcome back to the channel. Really quickly, before I get started with this video, this is actually the third time that I am recording that I'm trying to record a video. So if you guys had watched the other two times that I tried to post, too many problems. I'm just saying it right now. There were too many problems. I tried to do like a video where I talked about some of the things that we could expect from Backlash, but I'm going to be doing something completely different. So to those who watched the other two videos, I humbly apologize. I hope you guys can forgive me on this. It's not my fault. I tried to bypass everything, but unfortunately not. So I'm going to try this one more time. But yes, we do have the episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, but this time, instead of doing what I tried earlier, I'm actually going to be instead of trying to do what I did earlier, I'm going to be doing something completely different, and I'm going to be talking about the top 5 best WrestleMania, the top 5 best Backlash matches ever in WWE history. So, so we have had so when it comes to Backlash, over the years we've had so many different crazy different shows, different shows and whatnot, and it's interesting because there have been 16 Backlash pay-per-views over the years, and it dates all the way back to April 25th, 1999 at the Providence Civic Center in Providence, Rhode Island, and the main event for that match was Stone Cold Steve Austin defending the WWE Championship against The Rock in a no-holds-barred match with Shane McMahon as the guest referee. Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about all the matches about some of my personal favorite matches. Anyway, the top 5 best matches ever, and I'm going to be going through some of the events really quickly just to see what. Alright, yeah, so coming in at number 5 is obviously the no holds barred matchup. This was a match that featured another chapter in the rivalry between The Rock and Stone Cold. But it's interesting because given the fact that this was 1999 and this was back in April, back then The Rock was a part of the faction known as the Corporation, and it got to the point where it got to the point where later on in that storyline rivalry, The Rock not only backed off away from the Corporation to go at it on his own as a babyface, but we also got to see The Rock and Stone Cold team up on numerous occasions. So to see this matchup was pretty awesome. It was a pretty awesome matchup. Obviously, yes, I've seen the match on YouTube. I believe it's there. It'll probably be somewhere. I don't know, but the match lasted 17 minutes and 10 seconds. So that's right there, definitely number 5 in my book. But coming in at number 4 is kind of interesting because this is going all the way back to 2005. 2005, and it's interesting. It's interesting because 2005 was a very versatile year for the entire WWE. When you look at sorry about that, guys. somebody's knocking on my door, and they shouldn't, and they really shouldn't be knocking on my door. But anyway, anyway, when you think about, 2005 on Raw, you have to think about, obviously, the rivalry between Triple H and Batista, and this was back when they were a part of Evolution. So this matchup, Batista versus Triple H, I actually saw it because an old friend of mine actually gave me his old WWE DVDs, and all of them I still have. I have Backlash 2005 and Backlash 2006. 2005 took place at the Verizon Wireless Arena in Manchester, New Hampshire, and then of course 2006 took place at the Roop Arena in Lexington, Kentucky. The one for 2005, it's interesting because now, obviously Batista, he was supposed to have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. I think it was like 2020 last year, but because of the pandemic and because of the fact that, because of the fact that he didn't want it, he wanted it, but he wanted to do it with the fans in attendance, and that right there, I didn't blame him. But Batista, hell of an athlete, a crazy athlete, one of the best powerhouses in WWE. In my opinion, is at number 4 because the rivalry that they had continued for years and years, even during their days in Evolution. It was still there. It was still there. The sparks was flying, and Batista kept looking at Triple H like, I want that title. I want that title. WrestleMania 21 at the Staples Center, he got what he wanted. And hang on, guys, my brother is texting me literally. And over the years, when it came to Batista versus Triple H, it always worked out as Batista coming out on top. So when you think about WrestleMania 35 at MetLife Stadium, Triple H picked up a victory over Batista because Triple H knew what was at stake. And the last time that Triple H's career was on the line, it was back at WrestleMania 29 when he battled Brock Lesnar for the exact same reason. So this is definitely number 4 in my personal opinion. But coming in at number 3 is actually from 2008, because 2008 was one of the weirdest years for WWE because of the fact that we were starting to see even more new talent coming in. Like obviously Natalia. We were starting to see Cherry, compete. We were starting to see Kelly compete even more, and so many more. There was a lot, even so many different variables. But coming in at number 3 definitely has to be The Undertaker versus Edge for the World Heavyweight Championship, and it's interesting because this night took place at the First Mariner Arena in Baltimore, Maryland, and it took place April 27th, 2008. Literally just a few weeks after WrestleMania. And one thing that you have to remember, guys, is that The Undertaker had debuted, in late 2007, early 2008. He debuted a brand new submission called that he called Hell's Gate, and he had beaten so many guys, so many people with that move that was what gave him the victory over Edge at WrestleMania 24 inside the Citrus Bowl in Orlando. Hang on, guys, my brother is texting me. Sorry, guys, I am so sorry. My brother texted me from out of nowhere. Literally. Literally. There we go. There we go. Anyway, guys, so again, yeah, again, I do want to apologize for trying for the video earlier. If you guys saw the video both times, there was nothing I could have done. I am terribly sorry. I wanted to talk about WrestleMania Backlash, but unfortunately, it was not meant to be. So for those who did watch, thank you guys for watching that video. But maybe this will be, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, that move, Hell's Gate, was what gave The Undertaker multiple victories and multiple and at least and other big time matches. And funny enough, right after this, Hell's Gate ended up being banned by Vicky Guerrero. So when Vicky Guerrero no longer became general manager of SmackDown, and Teddy Long came into the came back as GM of SmackDown, he told Undertaker, hey, your move is banned. You can't use it anymore. You're not allowed to use it. And that was, and of course we all know 2009. Yeah, 2009. That lasted for a while, but he ended up using that on so many different occasions. So I would put this matchup at number 3, given the fact that The Undertaker had such an amazing run as world champion. But coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is actually one of my personal favorite matches from Backlash 2018. And it's interesting because this was actually one of the first pay-per-views that featured both Raw and SmackDown. And one thing that I wanted to one thing that caught my eye was the fact that the match between Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe was the main event. That was the main event. Crazy enough. But we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 title matches on the card. We had Seth Rollins versus The Miz. We had Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton. We had Carmella versus Charlotte Flair, and then of course AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, which ended in a draw. Crazy enough. This one match was in my opinion an incredible matchup. Seth Rollins versus The Miz, two guys who wanted to be Intercontinental Champion more than anything, and The Miz was given his rematch after he had lost the title at WrestleMania in New Orleans, and he was able to go up against Seth Rollins. But of course, too, Seth Rollins ended up picking up that victory over The Miz. I believe using the stomp, if I remember right. Let me go all the way back. If I remember right, I believe that was the case. Yep, I remember. He used the stomp on The Miz to retain his Intercontinental Championship, and it was just pure wrestling. It was a pure wrestling match between two incredible athletes, and the match actually lasted over 20 minutes, which that's the prestige of the Intercontinental Championship, having matches that last a good amount of time, and that right there speaks for itself. But coming in at number 1, you guys already know, last year's Backlash, Edge versus Randy Orton, the greatest wrestling match ever. One of the biggest matches in all of WWE. If you want to talk about like big main event matches, this match right here was incredible because there were 7 matches on the card. You had Apollo Crews versus Andrade for the United States Championship. You had Bayley and Sasha, Bliss and Cross, and the Iconics, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay for the women's tag team titles. You had Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy, Asuka versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's title. You had Braun Strowman versus Miz and Morrison in a handicap match for the Universal title. McIntyre versus Lashley for the WWE title, and then of course Orton and Edge in the greatest wrestling match ever. That was the only match on the card that lasted more than 20 minutes. More than 20 minutes. It lasted 44 minutes and 45 seconds. Absolutely incredible. No bullshit. No bullshit, no cheating, no nothing. It was just Orton and Edge duking it out for, not to see, it was the sole purpose was for bragging rights. That was the purpose of it. The purpose of this matchup was for bragging rights to see who was the greatest wrestler of all time, and Randy Orton ended up coming out on top when he punted Edge in the skull to win that match. But also keep in mind, Edge also suffered from a torn tricep injury, thus he had to be out of action from that night all the way up until this past January at the Royal Rumble, when he returned and entered the match at number 1 and won the whole damn thing. So now, so I would definitely put this match at number 1, but I do want to give a quick honorable mention, and this is actually pointed towards Backlash 2017? Yeah, Backlash 2017. The honorable mention is actually a match between is actually AJ Styles versus no, sorry, my bad. Sorry, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler. I kind of blanked. I blanked for a second, but yeah, this matchup, Dolph Ziggler versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This was a really awesome matchup because this gave this was actually Shinsuke's first match as part of the SmackDown brand, and given the fact that Shinsuke Nakamura had traveled all over the world, honed his craft, went to NXT for about a year or two, and became the first of 4 men to become NXT champion twice. It proves how incredible Shinsuke is in the ring, and Dolph Ziggler kept saying, "You know what, dude? You're a rookie, blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares." I think after that matchup, I think Dolph Ziggler has shown a much more bigger deal of respect for Shinsuke than he normally did. So I would give this match an honorable mention, just because of the fact that this was only Shinsuke Nakamura's debut match on SmackDown, and as part of the SmackDown brand. So one had to assume there was more, that we knew that there would be more to Shinsuke as on SmackDown, and it became true. I mean, he became United States champion, he became Intercontinental champion, he became a Royal Rumble winner, a tag team champion. There was a lot that he's done on SmackDown. I'm surprised that he hasn't gotten a shot at the Universal title against Roman Reigns, which it could happen, but only time will tell. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Again, for those who saw the video that I tried posting earlier, thank you guys for watching. I tried. It just was not meant to be, but that will do it for this video. Question of the day: what is your all-time favorite match from Backlash? It could be any year, any match was your favorite. Let me know in the comments below, and that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button if you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, which gets posted every Monday. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All the links will be down in the description below. If you guys have fan mail that you want to send me and want me to open up on the channel, my address will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.